JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 15th of September 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So let's run quickly through a few instruments that I've looked at this morning and yesterday as well. So the first one on the session here is the German DAX. Now you can see that for now the idea that I talked about on Monday is kind of still working out. So basically we are looking at it, we're still looking at this rising wedge pattern, and what I was saying, that as long as kind of it remains within the boundaries here, yes, the trajectory is still to the upside. So but from the short-term perspective, what I was saying, that in a way there is a possibility for this one to move lower, maybe potentially test this 21-day EMA or this lower side of the possible wedge. Now today you can see that we are seeing a bit of a reversal here to the upside. However, as I mentioned to you previously, we're still waiting for that push above this 13,314 zone in order to get a little bit more excited about higher areas, and ideally we would like to see a nice daily close above this barrier in order to aim for that, at least for that upper side of the rising wedge. Now jumping into S&P 500, and this index did push nicely to the upside yesterday. However, it still remained below its 21-day EMA. As you can see, it traveled higher, it kind of tested the area very close to that 21-day EMA and drifted back down. However, still stayed in the positive zone. Now looking at the cash index and where it's currently trading at, we can see that the price is roughly near the 3,410 territory, maybe just fractionally above it. So that means it's near this, first of all, it's near this 21-day EMA, or to be a little bit more precise, it's actually slightly above it. However, as I've mentioned to you guys yesterday as well, that still the more comfortable level after a break of which we could consider the upside would come from around here, from around at this 3,425 zone, marked by the high, near the high of the 10th of September. A nice good push above it could, yep, open the door towards higher levels, and then yep, we would take it from there. But at the moment, like I said, all eyes are on this, going to be on this barrier today as well, because like I said, looking at the cash index, it seems that it wants to travel higher. However, we're not really, we're just going to continue observing this one as long as it remains between these two levels, the 3,425 zone on the upside and the 3,329 territory on the downside here. So we need to see a nice good daily close below this area in order to examine lower areas here. So keep your eyes on those. Now jumping into gold, and gold is battling with this short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 18th of August. I talked about this one in my videos this morning and yesterday as well. So basically what I was saying, that yes, the fact that it's still trading above this upside support line, medium-term upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March, that's great news for the bulls. However, to get a little bit more excited about the upside, we need to wait for this break of this short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 18th of August, and then yes, we could consider a move higher here, at least towards the 1992 zone or this 2015 level, which previously acted as a good area of support and resistance. So keep your eyes on that, guys, for now. If we get this break of this downside line, then yes, like I said, higher levels could be met. Now jumping into Ethereum very quickly, so I've looked at this one a while ago, and basically let me just clear up the chart here and let me just have a fresh start. Now previously when I talked about Ethereum, I was talking about this upside support line taken from the lowest point of March here, the low of the 13th of March to be more precise, and you can see that yes, of course, for now the overall trend is still to the upside. After the crypto managed to reach the area near this 400 and well, let's round it up towards the 90, probably the 490 zone, and it tested that area, fell shy of just a few couple of dollars to reach the psychological 500 level, and it started reversing to the downside. Then the crypto found support near this 311 territory, from which it rebounded, or actually to be even more not accurate, but put more significance actually on this 100-day EMA shown here as the green line, because as you can see, yes, we did overshoot it here on the 5th of September. However, neither of the daily candles kind of managed to remain below this area, and even, let's say, starting from the 7th of September, indeed this 100-day EMA did act as a good area of support. What I was saying then, that we may get a bit of a correction here to the upside, but the main focus here was to keep an eye not on the level, but mainly on this 21-day EMA. As you can see, on the 12th, we did have an overshoot here. It did stay above it, but the next day we quickly sold off, and it drifted back below this 21-day EMA. So basically, and then on the 14th, yesterday and today, the crypto is still struggling to kind of, let's say, remain above this 21-day EMA. So we keep getting these little overshoots, but it's struggling to remain above it. So in a way, this kind of suggests that the downside is not off the table yet, and in terms of the downside, I'm talking about the short-term downside, because excuse me, in a way, even if it travels lower here, anything up until this upside support line could be seen as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. But and from the very short-term perspective, as I said, if this 21-day EMA does continue to provide resistance, then we might see this one drifting lower. If you want a bit more confirmation, then you could keep an eye on the low of the 13th of September here, near the 353.50 zone, and a nice good drop below it may open the door towards these slightly lower areas. In terms of the upside, keep your eyes on this 390 zone, marked by the high of last week, and a nice good pop above it, could open the door towards these higher levels. So that's why for now, be very careful here. Probably wait this one out, wait for a confirmation break through one of these levels in order to consider the next short-term directional move. Jumping into a few pairs, AUDJPY, I talked about this one as well, and well, we're still waiting. Basically, we're playing the waiting game here. We're waiting for a push above the 77.60. Well, let's round it up a little bit here, 77.65 territory. So in order to get comfortable with higher levels, we need to see a nice good not only a push, but maybe actually in addition to that, like the daily candle, kind of the main body staying above this barrier, in order to, like I said, get a little bit more excited about higher areas. At the moment, we might say that this is forming a bit of a prolonged flag here, the bullish flag, I mean, but we cannot really talk about the upside until we get that break here above this 77.65 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Of course, the upside here is still supported by the fact that the rate continues to balance above the 21-day EMA, so that's great news. But if by any chance it suddenly starts falling back below it and you see the daily candle remaining below this 21-day EMA, well, we could potentially maybe start considering some lower levels here. But again, for now it's not the case. We're above the 21-day EMA. We're very close to this barrier here, the 77.65. We just need to see a nice good pop above it in order to get comfortable with a further move higher. Now, jumping into NZDCAD, something that I haven't looked at for quite a while, and let me just remove everything here. Basically have a fresh start. Now we could try to draw an upside support line here, but to be honest, it's a little bit tentative. Now if we take it from the lowest point of March here, and it's going to be something like this here, but if we, for example, take it from here, then maybe it could be a little bit more accurate. However, to be honest, we'll kind of call both of these lines a bit tentative. Maybe this one is a little bit more accurate here, this one taken from the low of the 26th of March. So I'll keep both of those on the chart for now, but the main focus here right now will be on some of the key support and resistance levels, and in particular for now probably mainly on a resistance level which is near the 0.8868 level, marked by the current highest point of September. Now if this gets broken, not only that this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, this would also create a new high for September, and of course then it will be quite interesting to see if we can travel further north towards the towards this little area right here, the high of the 7th of August, and yep, then we'll and actually in addition to that, that's I think the highest point of August. Let me just double check this. Yes, I think that's going to be the highest, near the highest point of August, which is around the 0.8916 level. So keep your eyes on that one. That's going to be our next resistance, possible resistance level, if we get a nice pop above this current highest point of September near the 0.8868 level. If of course the acceleration continues, then watch out for this level right here, the highest point of July near the 0.9011 level. But we'll get to that point if we get a break first above the 0.8868 zone. GBPJPY. Now, unlike AUDJPY, GBPJPY is under a bit of pressure here. So also, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, so let me remove the lines here. And yep, the fact that it's balancing now below, oh, not this one here. Well, actually, I'll keep this on the chart, but I wanted to grab a trend line. So now it's now balancing below this short-term, or actually I would say medium-term upside support line taken from the low of the 18th of May. You can see that it's struggling to get back above it, and in a way also in addition to the whole bearishness, the rate is below all of its EMAs now, and in a way that is kind of causing a bit of problems here for the bulls, and well, further declines could be possible here. So that's why be very careful. One of the next, not this one, oh, there we go, one moment guys, bear with me just a little. So I just wanted to grab a horizontal line. So one of the levels that we're going to be aiming for will be this 134 zone. Let's round it up here. So that's going to be our next target if of course this this slide continues, and the slide continues below somewhere below this 135.45 zone. So if we get a nice good drop below this area, then yep, consider a possible move towards that 134 territory. If by any chance the rate somehow pops back above this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 18th of May, then of course you have to keep your eyes on the 200-day EMA. But if you really want to be on this a little bit more on the safe side, you could watch this little area right here, the 138.25 zone, marked by the low of the 21st of August and near the highs of the 9th and 10th of September. So this area, which previously, as you can see, acted as a good area of support and resistance. If that gets broken, then yep, it could open the door to some higher levels, because at the same time this would place the pair above the 21-day EMA, so the more buyers could see this as a good positive sign. So let's, of course, like I said, let's keep an eye on these levels, but for now we are a little bit more bearish than bullish on this particular pair here, because at the moment it's indicating that it's willing to drift a bit further south. And especially looking at our oscillators here, we can see that yes, at the moment the indication is more towards the downside. And finally, EURUSD. So let's see what's happening here. So this morning I talked about this one, and basically we're still carefully climbing higher. However, you can see that the bears are trying to kick in here. Overall, the pair is still trading above this upside support line taken from the low of the 14th of May. And if you want to consider maybe a bit of a down move here, well, wait for a break of this upside line, and then maybe a drop below the 1.1753 territory marked by the low of the 9th of September, and then consider lower areas, because this is basically the current lowest point of September. So a nice good drop below it, yep, first of all, creates a new low for September and creates a forthcoming lower low as well. So that's in terms of the downside. But again, at the moment, as long as this upside line remains intact, the trend is still to the upside, so be very careful. And at the moment, what I'm aiming here for is this 1.1965 level, and then I'm going to take it from there, because slightly above that we do have that psychological 120 zone, which also could get tested again. But of course, let's wait and see. At the moment, it is at a very interesting spot here, so let's not overdo it, and probably let's wait for a better signal here. However, like I said, at the moment the trend is still to the upside. But if suddenly it starts falling here and breaks this upside line, now this is where it could become very interesting for the sellers. But we'll pick up on that once we see something like that, like the break here of this upside line. For now, the trend is still to the upside. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Trader's Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.